Hey, good evening. I'm muscling through being tired as fuck to do a thing. Just because I feel like a lot of people have been asking me for a long time. I've been doing a lot of the politic thing. I've been going real slow through Children of Dune. I kind of want to pick up the pace soon with that. I've been dealing with an incredible amount of nonsense this week with my money and on the job. Plus the time the job takes from me. And I can't sit there and pretend that I don't want to fucking do this just because I'm tired. Okay. So we're kind of gonna go over the Nine Realms of Midgard for you again, or Nine Realms. I don't know why that's been running through my head. The Nine Realms of Norse mythology, right? The cosmology of my ancestors. One group of my mixed tribal ancestries. And we'll just be talking about the 8. I don't have to talk about Midgard other than the explanation of the permeable membrane of the guard that makes it a fortress instead of a home, which tells you something about the nature of this place, while also making the point that this place is where it's at. And where it's at's integrity is directly connected to your relationship with your soul. That being the reflection of the gods in council, thus as guard. And these are the two places that are guarded. It's making the heart to head connection, right? Gut intelligence is a part of the story, but it's in a home. It's not in a guard. So we're gonna go around, starting. We're gonna go and we're gonna do Niflheim and then Muspelheim, so that way I can go over the aspects of that in consciousness, and hopefully this gives you an idea of how this stuff works magically. And between that and understanding the Keylontic Eternal Tree of Life that is akin to the Edred Thorson Tree of Life, will give you a stronger idea of this system I wish to use, and this tree that I wish to use instead of Kabbalah, in which I will eventually read the Zohar and get all the basics on the Kabbalah and develop as I go. But I am going to be doing my magic Abrahamic free. Okay. So, when I looked in etymology, I wanted to start with my origin of words. Niflheim went straight to the archaic root word medhi, which a lot of words, I'm not going to go over all the words that go down to medhi, but it breaks down to, it goes back to medhi. And then there is, just before medhi on here, is the explanation for the prefix of that, which is med. So I'm going to read you med and medhi in the closest translation within the passages of the explanation of where of what these meaning structures are. So it starts with med, which is to measure. Take measure, hence ponder, judge, prescribe, an extension of me, for. This root formed many Latin words: modicus, modulus, modus, meditari, modal, mode, and its doublet mood. In grammar form modified by mood, state of mind, to see moro, mottle, old, pattern. Then it goes into the word modern and modicum. But let me move forward here and get somewhere into the Old Norse, or even like Germanic. Because I got French here, I got Germanic, that's good. Okay, I heard a beep. I'm hoping my computer is going to be okay. That's more Latin. Okay, so I think I got Germanic over here is going to count. And this is just med. This isn't like the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, so Germanic, it would be meet, must, meet, fit, help meet, a misreading of the Bible, Genesis 2:18. It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him, modified to help mate. That's very interesting. Now that's just med, not med-he. Now we're going to do med-he, which is properly this root word that Niflheim comes from somehow. I can kind of see if you do kind of like the M to N, you go Nedhi, and then you soften the D a little bit, Nethi, then you're getting Nethheim, and then where's the L come in? The Niflheim. But anyway. Many, middle, between, an extension of med. There's the Greek mesos. Let me see. It's just going through some examples. Between Latin, medianus, French, moyen. Hence also median. Both are defined as average, but for exactness, the three terms should be distinguished. Average may be from Arab, awaria. First, merchandise damaged by seawater, then equitable division of the loss among all concerned, but see Op 1. Okay, so let me go here. Let's see if we can get back to Germanic or Old Norse. Let's see what we got. Because the middleness is very interesting, right? It's still working with that word middle. Same number of figures before it is and after. All right. Adding these figures. That's in the series. Median. All right. Which of any of these three ones bias? All right. Come on. Where are we here? Yeah. Medhi is very long. It's like a page. It's like a page. It's like almost 2 pages for Medhi, right? Let me see here. There's the Greek meta. It's meta in Greek. Now that's very important, right? Like my point is that Niflheim is the back rooms, man. Niflheim is the liminal space. That's a moral of the story. If you're a Kabbalist, what node of the Sephiroth is would you place the back rooms? Whatever node that is your unequal equivalency. Forgive me, I am going to say that. But that's because I'm working with the different structured system on the base 9. This is science. Not offense to anyone's tradition. This is criticizing and changing your magic. That's all I'm doing. I just like, there's more than one way to build a building, and the Obama Library is not the way you build a building. But anyway, so meta, right? So the metaverse, virtual reality. There's a lot of first-person, procedurally generated graphics in backrooms stuff. Let's see, Latin, medius. Okay, Germanic, amid, middle, and its compounds as midding, middleman, middle brow, middle class. Right, like this is it's going into the fourth dimension, right? It's going into the other side. It's the other world of Irish folklore, right? And Irish folklore, you can't get to. The magic is way more wildly, right? It's sophisticated, but at the same time, it's slightly more primal than the Norse. It might be more. It might be more quote primal, in a different meaning than meaning earlier, but just in sophistication of artistic and aesthetic, more primal than what I have seen of the Wainamoinen mythology Bach saga so far. Right? Doesn't mean that it's the oldest, but there's just a lot more primalness going on, because there's not a heavy amount of, oh, look at how mathy we were with the perfect dimensions of all the cool stone stuff we cut. There's a little bit of that, you could say, with Stonehenge, but anyway. Midway between low and high. So, it's liminal space. It's the middle, it's the in-between here and the full-blown other side of where spirits and gods come from. Middletown is an imaginary average American town used to suggest the attitudes and manners of the country's middle class. Also midnight, midstream, midsummer, midway, midwife. Alright, do midshipman, humanitarian. Alright, so it's gonna get to Midgard in a second. Hold on. Nothing in a day. Find yourself. Provide your old. Okay, yeah. All right. Midgard, Midnard, the earth. In Norse mythology, midway between heaven and hell, and between Niflheim, home of ice, and Muspelheim, home of fire, Midgard, which we inhabit, was formed out of the body of the giant Ymir, killed by the gods. His sweat and blood became the oceans, his bones, the mountains, his hair, the vegetation, his skull, the vault of the sky, is upheld by the four dwarves, Nordri, Sudri, Ostri, and Vestri. At the four corners, yeah. I've talked all about this, right? But this is good. All right. So the four corners, the four cardinal directions from Midgard, the Rainbow Bridge, Bifrost, starting the gods. This contains 12 realms, including Valhalla. So that which delivers your cerebral spinal fluid is in your energetic system the equivalent of the Rainbow Bridge. All right. Nos Valar, not slain, chosen, the worthy. They are the worthy ones. Valhall, or the Royal Hall, home of the heroes slain in a battle. The heroes chosen because they were the badasses of the battle. And escorted there by one of the 12 Valkyries. Vala slain, Kerja, chooser. Yeah, well, that's chooser, but the Val is worthy, which is thus why they're chosen. Scott Carlson explains all this. Anyway, Virgins of Slaughter. Alone of the gods, Thor, the Thunderer, from whom Thursday, because of his heavy tread. Right. So it threw me to Medhi, not because it's really from Medhi. It's just that he probably doesn't have Niflheim, but he talks about Niflheim here, and so this is your best chance of understanding it, right? In relationship to Midgard, right? And so I've always understood Niflheim to be that permeable membrane in which to perceive that world is to perceive the movings of the ethers, the spirit world, the sentient plasma, the informed field. Right? That's effectively Niflheim. This is a static field. It has to have energy applied to it, right? That's why there's no spirits here. But if I start charging energy, applying Muspelheim to it, it will move the energy because it is being excited, steaming, and then that steaming becomes that smokeless fire that the Arab world would know as the Jinn. All right. In the midst of life, we are in death. The Book of Common Prayers. Dante begins his Divine Comedy in the middle of the road of our life. He was 35, half the expectations of 70 Pope, in an essay on man advises. I'm going to read this because it's kind of neat, and then we're going to move on to Muspelheim, and we'll talk more about Niflheim as we go, and so on and so forth. Know then, myself, presume not God to scan the proper study of mankind is man, placed on the isthmus of a middle gate, a being darkly wise and rudely great, with too much knowledge for the skeptic's side, with too much weakness for the stoic's pride. He hangs between, alike in ignorance, his reasons such, whether he thinks too little or too much, sole judge of truth in endless error hurled, the glory, jest, and riddle of the world. All right, that's good. That's some good shit. Okay. So yeah, we understand that this isn't all the fairy tales. When a fairy, a fairy will also come to you. It'll do fairy dust, and you'll go glazy-eyed, and then you go into the liminal space, and all the things happen, and it's a similar experience with every fucking alien goddamn fucking abduction. And we will see how the context unfolds with all of the UAP files. Okay. So, what I wanted to do... Did I set a thing up? No, I hadn't. Okay, so, in the manner of practice, Niflheim on a compass is due north, straight north. It belongs up there. And it is the place of dreams. Dreams and nightmares. Right? So you already know a thing or two about Niflheim, if you've been into liminal space media. What I want to do is, I have an operating window that I want to be my demonstrative window. So, whoops. So this is like the 9 realms, plus interpretations of Niflheim, right? The furthest reaches of Niflheim are ice, because they choose to be the furthest away from power. They go where it is dark, where it is still. And they cultivate in those back corners that it's not really your subconscious. It's part of the drift of noise, right? You'll discover a difference between your subconscious thoughts and the drift of noise in the ethers. Niflheim is the medium of which the ethers go, right? The substance of the weird is the same as the concentrated sentient plasma being forged in a structural form as part of the framework of everything in the all. And so you see all sorts of stuff like this, you know, where it's icy. But then this, it's a little bit icy, but you see all the mist and things, right? The Ice Jotun are the only, I think, spirits that are not like an animal or a creature, or like it's like the Ice Jotun and then stuff of your dreams and nightmares as creatures are the inhabitants of Niflheim. I believe that's one of the wells of the tree. Because as the ice home, it is also the water home, and where Niflheim meets Muspelheim, obviously there is little ice there. Okay. Let's take a look at Muspelheim. So you know, it's Mordor, obviously, right? It's Mordor. It's the Balrog, Shadowfire. Now it's obviously a hellacious looking realm. The Balrog is equivalent to Surt, the Fire Jotun, the Lord of the Fire Jotun. He is just hostility embodied, right? This is all your Ares energy, right? His some say it's his daughter, some say it's his consort Sinmara. Sinmara is he's got a face on his chest too. That's neat. And it's cycloptic. Yeah, and either way, Sinmara is the one who takes, who gets the meat of poetry from her Jotuns, who went out and got it from Gjallar and Fjallar. Right? So this is also a place that you tap for inspiration. This place where it burns on the inside. Right? This is a place where you must bring a sacrifice. So, let's take a look for this. Muspelheim is obviously in the south, right? So, like, this is very much your, like, can you say energy consciousness or energy body, right? This fire. And this fire is just the energy of things, right? Like those furthest reaches of Niflheim that are ice, but like you saw in the picture, there's form there, right? Like people could build stuff there, right? It's on the outskirts, but it's just ever so slightly being touched by the fire of Muspelheim's reach. Just enough so that way there is differentiation of some sort, right? Because things are very, very insubstantial because of how much has been done. So anyway, so we're going to go to Muspelheim, Mesopotamia, metaphor. Mus. Where am I at? That's Mimosa. H-I-J-K-L M-N-O-P-Q-R-S-T-U. Gotta keep going. So many words. L-M-N-O-P. Because it might just go to Medi again, right? Leaving me in a fix to explain everything with just one fucking passage for all 8. That's no good. Muses Muspelheim. Yeah, Muspelheim just goes to Medi again. It's right next to Muslim, though. Alright. So this book is not going to be that helpful. So we get this motif one way or the other. If you know Star Wars, all I have to do is talk about the Battle of Scarif, and everybody understands. You know? Anakin, Vader versus Obi-Wan. And so, Cert, I believe Cert fights Freyr. He falls to Freyr, and then Vanaheim gets consumed. That's the basic structure that has been covered. These here are on the same plane of existence. And then Helheim and Asgard are encompassing the most existential of this core system. And so this is a up and down axis, and this is a cross axis. And then here's somebody running with that idea using different rune patterns. I've often seen Yera being the chosen rune for the axis mundi, basically for the central point. And there is an associative rune pattern in the Tree of Life. And that Yera, I believe, is in it in that center place. I do not remember with certainty which else was operating in here. So I'm not going to say that there's a hard rule or that particular diagram had a best effective design. But there's certainly a great amount of things. Yeah, like, here we are again from someone else. Yeah, so like everybody's doing this. So yeah, you get an idea when you're operating under the diamond pattern, right? This one's doing a better job giving you the understanding of this as a plane. Otherwise, you would have all these nodes the same size to not have a depth issue, and you'd connect them and make the diamond pattern. Okay, so that's the lowdown on Muspelheim. So now let's do Asgard. So Asgard is going to sit in our northeast position. Northeast position is this is your higher intelligence. This is you. It's not like your intuition, which is coming from the northwest. We'll get that. We'll get to that towards the end here. Over here in the northeast, this is always where you correspond the Holy Land. The northeast is where you put your altar. The northeast is going to have the most ritual significance in your practice as you are operating with your active and accountable avatar. And so here in Asgard, you are having an all thing. When you go into meditation or ritual, and you're going over what something is, what something isn't, you're kind of having a Norns session in that respect. It's just like, where did this come from? What is it doing? What do we do about it? Okay, so This is Asgard. This is your super consciousness, they call it. It's crown chakra, obviously. Niflheim, I believe, is your first eye. It's either your first eye or your throat. And Muspelheim. Muspelheim is that's in the navel. It's actually in the navel. Because Helheim is going to be in the root. So, and we're going to get to Helheim in a second. So we all know that one from the Thor movies. Got this right here, giving you the Camelot kind of vibe. And Camelot is Germanic enough that it works. Okay. Alright. So then that's Asgard. We go to Helheim. So Helheim, the underworld, the shadow world. Right? This place doesn't have a chakra. It is your personal unconscious. The personal unconscious has a direct correlation to the collective unconscious. As you make the unconscious more conscious, as Jung teaches, it reveals what's hiding in the avoidance of the self. And you have to bypass the ego for that. We'll get to the ego when we get to the East. So, I think that the allegories of understanding the unconscious are well spoken of now with all the Jungian psychology that has been made of interest. Everybody understanding mythological archetypes of what the underworld is for. Let's move on to... Let's see, do I go to Jotunheim? We'll go, yeah, let's do Jotunheim. So, Jotunheim, this is where all the giants that are not elemental primordials like ice and fire come from. This is in the East. It is the place of the ego. It is the place of the solar plexus. It has the Jupiterian expanding energy. Oh, the element of the East in our system is ether. In the obviously the North and the South is water and fire. Wind is in the West. We'll be into that next. And there we go. Zellero and Howard are here. How's it going, guys? Okay, so. So, what is the difference between a Jotun and a god in terms of psyche, right? You who have habits that become a major part of your personality, right? It's pretty much, it is like, quote, demons. You can have plenty of healthy relationships with Jotuns. Some Jotuns do count as gods or goddesses. Usually of smaller station. Or at the very least as a powerful, benevolent, or malevolent spirit, right? But Jotun they don't have the same diverse agency of the gods, right? Now, this is why there's so much conflict, right? Because when Jotunheim cultivates very, very stubborn prodigies of their line, you have to fucking bother to go to war against them, right? Like the Jotun is when the compulsion that the man has no control over takes over the ability to respect one's wishes to not do that. Right? That's when you see it, when it's arising within yourself or someone else. When a way you are, which isn't neither a good nor a bad thing, is kind of a stubborn shortfalling in your character. That just speaks a lot to your relationship with that Jotun, with that spirit, that giant. Thor is one of the reasons why we go into a focus on that. Because Thor is half Jotun. He is half Earth Mother. His Thursic nature gives him the power to go into autistic rage focus. Like a Jotun, right? He can go into his Jotonic impulses and channel the power of a giant with through him. And because of his godhood, because he is fully a god and half Jotun, right? When you really think about it, right? He's still a god. He's not considered the half god. He's considered half Jotun, but nobody ever calls him half god. You notice that. So somebody will start doing that to pretend I care, like it's like I have to defend Jesus's integrity. But anyway, so this half Jotun terrifies them because he's got the agency of a god and the gifts of a god. But he has tapped into that strength itself. And him having this half Jotun quality, it's why the astrotheology pans out with the placement of Hercules in the night sky. So that's a sense of Jotunheim. We go to Vanaheim. This is also a realm of the gods in the west. This is our earth gods. Now, all the gods meet in Asgard, but when you need to do the earthen god thing in the west, you're not working with the Asgardians, with the sky gods, although, because when you're in the northeast, you're working with all of them. In the west, you're just working with the Vanir in Vanaheim, across the river Van. The river Van is a very specific river that you cross. Vanaheim is emotions. It's Svartalfheim is emotions because of the subconscious and stuff. But we're talking about empathy and wisdom comes from Vanaheim. Empathy and wisdom. This is Midgard is the heart chakra, by the way. And here in this wind home, like I said, I'm flow state winging it. Let me actually throw Vanaheim up for a second. There we go. Yeah. All right. Oh, that's just the world tree. I still don't get as much of like the realm I typed in because of all this, right? Let me just do Norse mythology Vanaheim. There we go. many, many interpretations. But I mean, like, we all know the look from Tolkien, right? From the forest elves versus those, basically the mountain elves. Okay. So if I'm thinking right, let's see. I already hit about the solar plexus stuff. Yeah, no, throat. Yeah, no, throat chakra is gonna actually be in. Yeah, that is going to be in Svartalfheim, throat chakra. Heart chakra, solar plexus. Already hit the navel, right? Yeah. And I think I said Niflheim. Yeah, Niflheim was the third eye. First eye, rather. Asgard. I talked about the ego, which is not a chakra either, right? In Jotunheim. I was talking about the ego just to make sure I make the point that there is no chakra for Jotunheim either, right? It's the ego and the collective ego, right? You can go into that false sense of strength because you're in the zeitgeist of the lies you're telling yourself and the people that are enabling your lies, and which is what we saw with all of the psyops that the left were fooled into doing to greatly destroy themselves. So, if we go to Svartalfheim now, where the dwarves and the dark elves reside, right? So that's what's going on in Svartalfheim, right? There is a turmoil because dwarves are consistently working, and their work is consistently a development, and that development is also developing them. And based on the attention to your dwarves that you give them, they are being informed by those magics, and those magics are shaping what they are to become when they mature, right? And you will know how someone has produced these demons, these little conscious forces that assist them in their talents, in whatever twisted way in which they interpret them. Okay. I'm going to take a little break before we come back. And hold on a second. I gotta pick a decent song here. What do I want to play? I want to take a quick look at what kind of music just pops up on my feed. Woo! Sorry, I hate to contagion you with my yawn. Yawns are contagious. That's not a myth. But that's a different kind of contagion. Alright, Alright, you know what? We're going to do some AWAR. Why the fuck not? We're going to do Freya's Calling by AWAR.
Our spending is on track.
Hush. Hush you with your advertisement. By the way, I've had all week. I had to fucking listen to it in the car today. I had to go, like, I don't even know if I consider things a guilty pleasure. It's just that like whenever I'm in the mood when I'm in the mood, and it's definitely a cheesy thing. It's just like once in a while you got to give it up to some goddamn redonkulous pop music, and that 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 Carly Rae Jepsen "Call Me Maybe" song, right? It's a white girl summer song, right, with the catchy beat and the funny lyrics of it all, and it's a cutesy song. I like it. I fucking like the song. I like the fucking song. Sue me, and that was just stuck in my head. The do 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 do, ba 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 ba, baby, ba ba ba. And I had recently posted on X to shit on somebody. The Obama mock-up auto-tune version of that song, which I consider to be a fucking masterpiece of satire, political satire. So I'm all over the place. I'm bonkers. I'm a madman. Here, please enjoy this. Okay, I feel a little refreshed after that. We're back, and we're back. Alright, so the dwarves representing our emotions and our creativity. This is our navel chakra. That's right, it's the navel chakra. And then the first eye is light elf realm. There we go. I knew I was going to get that straightened out at some point. Okay. So, the way you cultivate your dwarves, they either mature into elves or they corrupt into dark elves. These dark elves become basically the dark ones, whom the black magician uses in their assistance of their dark sorcery, which makes them the principles involved in creating the world wound that opened us up to the anti-gods and brought the world out of alignment by their subtle and overt influences. So, Los Elfheim. The prize for the Dark Elves is the Light Elf realm, and like Fenrir, to consume it in darkness, to make the thoughts of emotions of man that of producing misery. Not just to have the misery fall upon you like Fenris does, but to turn it into the engine of it. Right? This is, the Dark Elves, they want to infect your moon, because this is a very lunar thing with the Light Elves. They want to infect it with using the more sophisticated powers for the corrupted purposes fed into the Dark Elves. And, this has everything to do with which way you cultivate your magic. And nobody ever went to war over a math problem, they said. I don't know, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we just do have to go to war over a math problem, and then we fix the fucking world. Which, of course, that's a psycho thing to say. And I said, listen, man, there ain't nothing wrong with what I'm doing, and they want to force me to change the way I live. So, so why? Right? It's forced by your only options being grooming options. Right? Oh, yeah, you could be here, you have a right to be here, and we have a right to groom you to be here or kick you out. Oh, okay, so I got a right, but you got a right that overrides my right, but I still have a right. That's not how rights work. Right? Too much bullshit. Too much bullshit. Anyway, I don't want to get a haircut. It's that petty! But anyway. So, the Light Elves is when you get to the point of having refined the crude workings of magic as you know it, right? Like, I do all the primal and the primordial shit. But there's that stretching out into the cosmic and that pull into the cosmos, right? And then this is where you're squaring the circle between your works with earth gods and your works with sky gods. And when your magic has a relationship or a effect with either one, or at least their realm and their spirits. So that is, I think, a good answer for you on everything. Let me go back and straighten out the planets for everything. All right. You have Mercury and Neptune in Niflheim. Excuse me. You have Jupiter in Asgard. I'm sorry, no. You have No, that's right. Yes, you have Jupiter in Asgard. You have the sun. Like I said, yeah. Yeah, the sun is in Jotunheim as being the only planet that really represents the ether element, right? Venus is in Svartalfheim. Keep that in your mind. Okay, so Venus is the Dark Elves' sphere of power. Mars, we've already discussed for Muspelheim. The North Node and Pluto are in Helheim. Vanaheim is Saturn. And I think Aquarius, because I don't work with the outer planets directly, I just know about their subtle influences, especially my ascendant Uranus. So I believe it's Saturn and Uranus in Vanaheim. Although Uranus may float between Vanaheim and Jotunheim, when I think of some of the circumstances that Thor's stories and the myths represent when it comes to the quote people. But I'm going to stick with it being there with Saturn on this one. And then, of course, the moon we discussed for the light elves, or conquering dark elves. Earth is Earth. There's the implication that the South Node is in Asgard because the North Node is in Helheim. So, karma leans heavily on what is to be judged on the doom chair under the authority of the Jinn region. Right? So Asgard, which is the crown chakra, this is the round table that the gods sit around. And then that's what each peak on your crown represents. And so you would have a 9 to 10 pointed crown, depending on how your magic is representing things. And then that crown is hanging over Gununga Gap, and in the center of Gununga Gap, that you see through the round table, through the crown, in that center is the Jinn region. This is represented fucking perfectly as the conceptualization of God in Kingdom, the animated Kingdom film, right, which goes through all of that stuff. You've probably seen it many and many a time, right? In fact, I'm down to have some fun because we just went through all of that. Oh, some other stuff about the system, real quick before we move on, and then I feel like playing the video. So the the northeast, the southeast, the northwest, southwest, all the four cross countering guys on the compass, right? Each one of them has a back access door to each other. Asgard has a back access door to Helheim, and the same thing for the Light Elves and the Dark Elves. They have back access channels. Okay, there you go. That's what you need to know. We're now going to switch it up. Yeah, we're gonna close this. We're gonna open this because I think we, let me see how much I can do with it. Here with breakdown. A minute. Kingdom. Animation. There we go. Okay, so if you remember this, Lubomir Arzov, who is an animated filmmaker. He made In Shadow, he made Kingdom, he made The Forest King, which is a dystopian short story with dialogue, as opposed to these animated music video film things, right? And In Shadow is kind of like a motion comic, like not super animated but visually stunning, a fucking brilliant masterpiece that we needed to see in 2017. This came out like 2021 or 2 originally, and this was maybe even later than that. Honestly, it might have been later than that now I think about it. The point is that this was very much a response to everything the pandemic revealed that we stood against. Right? So we're going to check this out. If you haven't known it yet. Hold on, let me expand. No, don't full screen it. Sorry. Not what I wanted to do. Theater mode, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. Now, let me see. I may want to frame this a little bit different. Gonna pinch that. There. Good. That should be fine. Okay. We should be able to hear me in the show. It's all music, so I can just kind of talk over it. I'm gonna turn this down. Fair use. So here, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, so like this is yeah, that's like Niflhel. See, there's Niflheim and there's Niflhel as well, right? Niflhel is kind of like that place in between Helheim and Niflheim, where those two meet, because you know some of the things that scare you are in your subconscious, This is different reality with that, and how things are informed. But the stuff in your unconscious, there could be some uglier stuff than that, right? So you'll see a lot of this interesting use of this dark mist. Well, we may not even watch the whole thing, honestly, because there may not be. Well, why would I cut it off? But most of the lecturing is going to be here in the up until they kind of go through the process of the upper hand against the enemy, right? And it shows you, it gives you this demonstration for those who can see of a blueprint, not just to freedom, but to fighting back. So here's the little dark ones. Those are the dark elves going out. These are the people. This is like, this represents at the 2-week period that they lied to us about the pandemic, right? And the demoralization of the human spirit that had happened globally for those 3 years. So, these guys, you could think of these guys as certain kind of a, they're like evil Jotun that are being elevated, and they have this cahoots with the Dark Ones, right? They want to serve that because they worship that dark pillar that obscures God. So, if we understand all that with the black cube structure, right? So, I said that Saturn is in Vanaheim. Okay, so here's what happens when Vanaheim is being corrupted by the forces of the Dark Ones. When the Dark Elves get in, they take Saturn out of nature, and then they put it into the cube. They put it into the trapezoid. And they destroy true care. And they bring dark care. I mean, like, the entire culture had to go to another level of psycho-spiritual warfare because of these years. These are the years that have cultivated the potential of a Christian Reich, which it's something that we have to deal with. Now, those people, they're being given a very Lovecraftian Innsmouther look. So these are the various egregores that have been created by the successful cultivation of negative thoughts and emotions in this particular man who's going to be the hero of the story. Listen, when I got my very first tattoo, it was this one. It was the phoenix burning fire. Right? Center mass. Wings closed in a guarding of the heart. The heart is present, but it is not just open to anybody. Now, the sword, I think only Freyr fights with a sword. I think that's his weapon. You know, and there aren't too many stories of Freyr and the conversations that he's had and his use of words, right? He's a very low dialogue character in the Eddas, in his station, right? But the Earth gods are associated with divine matters within time and space here in the world versus the sky gods who are of the matter of higher forms, things that get more far off into existential and imaginative details that inspire us to do things that are outside of our known world, right? Oh, I've never seen a building so big before. Oh, I've never seen a wagon so fast before, right? You know, like you're stretching those boundaries. That's the Jupiterian principles in Asgard versus the Saturnian principles of Vanaheim. But they complement each other when they're not fighting. This is when you isolate everything by embracing Helheim to confront your demons. What's being represented in this, right? It's like, if you know, you know. That is a very real fucking force. That's what the you know, that's the warrior heart activation, right? So you've made the decision in the doom chair to go through the purge. You've called upon Thor to drive out Loki. Loki and Hel are of Helheim. You know, that's also like a lesson in the power. That's the furnace happening down in Muspelheim. Once he was able to clear the mind in the meditation and bring things to heart center, that's the breaking of the ice. That's the ending of the Fimbulvitr for him personally. We have done a lot to destroy this spiritual infrastructure. Don't let Gnostic pesticism win, ever. With the grabbing of the sword, one could say, right, that that sword's been waiting for him, forged by his dwarves in Svartalfheim. So, you know, because subconsciously, it's not so much that he doesn't believe that he can't take the sword. It's so much that, am I prepared to master the responsibility of wielding the sword? That's the hesitation. That was my hesitation. This man worked on the He-Man animated series, so he knows what the fuck he's doing. And that's the Jin region. We'll see it again clearer at the end of the video. So that's calling down the true Luciferian consciousness. That is the Asgard-Midgard connection, the Rainbow Bridge, the calling in the aid. Yes, Setting Dawn, it is. It's an allegorical myth. Everybody does this. There's a sword in the stone, there's the lady in the lake. depends on what phase of the Arthurian legend you're playing with. So you see, this is the ego of confidence instead of arrogance, and arrogance is being destroyed by confidence. And then once the gravity of the situation hits them, they're realizing the complete fucking monsters there. As far as the kind of head figures, like, this is the one part of the film that I'm sure there was a lot of this, but you and I both know that we haven't seen enough of this part. Nobody can fucking just sit there and say, you know what, I could be a different kind of conservative. I could be a different kind of liberal. Is that fucking humanly possible for all of these people that have done what the fuck they have done unrepentant? Have gone through a great deal of this, right? This is very much Vanaheim in alignment, using the empathy and the wisdom to heal the wounds, to resolve the Saturnic karma after the very necessary Uranic breakup. So the Avatar thing happens. You know, like all of this is very like on the Jotunheim level, right? Jotunheim and Asgard level. I would have liked to have seen a couple of guys with long hair during all of that hoopla. And there we go. The Jin region at the center of Kanungagap. And the cute way they put God in between the G and the D. King Godum, Lubomir Arzov. Please check out his other two films. And we all know Aubrey Marcus, the guy who botched everything he had going for him by exploiting a young woman in a polygamous relationship. But, this is fucking honest about it. That's the trailer for The Forest King. The Forest King is part of an anthology movie, and so you either got to find it isolated, or you got to jump to its scene in the anthology movie. I've been so busy, I've only watched the scene and haven't watched the rest of the anthology. which, oops, a lot of it didn't seem to, oh, hi, Paranoid. Interest me that much. So that right there is an example of like when I'm watching something and I'm saying, how does the myth inform me of what this is saying? How does my understanding in the mystical path as an animist with both academic knowledge, if you will, and personal experience by having achieved the sensitivity to these things. How do I interpret it? Right? I don't know how to compare and contrast it to the Sephiroth, but I know that what I say will have some form of correspondence. All right, let me think. Is there anything else I want to show you before I call it quits for the night? Anything else gives a good example of a realm of at least where you can run through ideas of the realms in things. Shoot. I can't think of anything that operates in short form. I've only played the first God of War Norse series game. And I have no interest in playing the other two. So I can only comment on that one, in which not all the realms you had access to in that game. I know. Let me see. This game will do it. This game has got Ragnarok overtones without freaking like going there. It was honestly, it was one of my fucking favorite franchises. There's 3 of them. There has to be a 4th, and a 4th is coming. I admire how the creator of this game has patiently worked on each and every single one. He takes his sweet ass time putting out Darksiders. Fucking Darksiders. Let's see. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, so it puts things into perspective for you. Let's see. We're gonna do Darksiders 2, where you get to play Death. We're gonna play the trailer under fair use. I should be fine with the Lubomir Arzov video just because it's independent and all that. I'm also not a monetized channel. So okay. Here we go.
18.
Show you the trailer. Oh, wait. You can't see it. Thought I turned it on. There we go. So it's biblical, but it's aesthetically Norse. That's what I love about the game. want to see if it's going to show you in the realm. This is such a fucking fun game. And I think the trailer's just using this battle to hype it. Alright, as awesome as this is, it's not... let's see. Darksiders 2 World. Alright. Definitive edition open world gameplay. Part 1, Kingdom of the Dead. Alright, so let's take a look at the Kingdom of the Dead here. Because he doesn't just spend all his time in dead places. Oh my god, come on! Shit it! Fair use. Frickin' IGN.
The world of Darksiders 2 is vast.
Actually, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I should use an IGN. I don't want to deal with too much nonsense. Let's skip that so I don't have to fucking work. Walk through Earth, Part 1. Okay, that's probably just him on Earth, yeah. They play with time in an interesting way with the different games. World map area, that's not... Come on. Just show me a thing where we see some of the landscape as you cut around and, like... just some stuff that happens in each fucking, like, area. That's all I ask. Alright, let's see if I can get something out of this guy. Hopefully he doesn't have an annoying voice. We're gonna find out! We're gonna find out! This guy's getting some free shit from me. Let me see. The Veil, Keeper of Secrets. Let me center this better. Alright, let's see. Get out of the menu, you're wasting time. Right here. We'll get a little... Yeah, let's do the pro... Actually, the prologue's pretty awesome. Hang on. Let's turn up the audio. And... Can you read all that? Hold on a second, because this is not going to help you if you can't read it. Oh, no, don't move that. Ah, come on. Select this. Thank you. I have to make this... Alright, there. Now it's all on one screen. Such is the decree of the Charred Council. The Charred Council is a trinity of primordial stones. They're kind of like the living tribunal in the Marvel Universe. An ancient body charged by the Creator to preserve the very fabric of existence. So these are principles that are beyond angels and demons that the Creator put in charge to uphold the integrity of the world, and they're the ones that control the fate of the horsemen. And they do a whole thing with war where war shows up in the beginning of the first game. Earth's going to hell in a handbasket. Then he gets imprisoned, wakes up like, I don't know, 1,000 years later or something. There's pretty much no humans left, and he's just running around demon, angel, war ground, fucking Earth. Everything's overgrown with hellscape and and stuff. It's fucking, it's so aesthetically fucking great game. Fun to explore. Very Legend of Zelda. With puzzle tunnels and really fucking exciting, fun and challenging action fights. Hey, Violence, what's going on? Oh, well, that's good. Good to see you back. So that's the Charred Council. You know, they're archons, basically.
An ancient body charged by the Creator to preserve the very fabric of existence. But the balance has been broken.
Can you guys hear that? Do I have to read everything twice? He said, but the balance has been broken. And then it says, even now, each smolders in ruin, fallen to the demon lords, and the destroyer carves a new kingdom amongst his mighty chosen.
Even now, Earth smolders in ruin, fallen to the demon lords, and the destroyer carves a new kingdom amongst his mighty chosen. Some say the Horseman War triggered the apocalypse, that he rode to Earth unbidden and doomed all of mankind.
So yeah, it's very interesting. In the story, the Charred Council set up war to trigger the apocalypse, because you find out that the Charred Council, these archons, they've been like corrupted or something. I can't remember exactly what it is. It gets very interesting by the third game when you play as the chick, Wrath. Wrath is cool. My only complaint with that game is that she's never on her fucking horse. They take her fucking horse away. You get like one scene or something, like they kill her horse, I think. It just, like, something fucking happened. I don't know if they ever fucking changed that game so you get more horseplay, but I got robbed of horseplay. There's so much horseplay in the first two games.
But what of the other horsemen? Fearless enforcers of the Council's will?
So can you hear that? But what of the other horsemen? Fearless enforcers of the Council's will? What of fury, strife, and death? To know those names, you must first know another.
Fury, strife, and death. To know those names, you must first know another. Nephilim, cursed union of angel and demon.
And so the Nephilim, which everybody acknowledges that likeness to Niflheim, it's just an unavoidable. There's too many things. Oh, okay. Yeah, hang on. I have to hit bank. There we go. All right. So the Nephilim. So in this mythos, they're saying that what they're calling the Nephilim are these angel demon hybrids. Like, they're not human angel hybrids. They're angel and demon, and that's what they're calling the Nephilim. But the Nephilim is what the four horsemen are, right? And so that's the deal, right? They are a little bit of a monster and a little bit of a hero, right? They're all anti-heroes in a certain way.
The Nephilim had countless realms to pursue and burned them to ash. But four amongst them grew weary of the slaughter and feared their conquest would imperil the balance. And so a truce was made. The four would serve the council in exchange for unimaginable power. Thus were the dreaded horsemen formed, And the riders' first task was to purge their own brethren from creation, to annihilate the Nephilim and destroy their souls. Let us now cast our gaze to one amongst the four, not War, who lies chained at the Council's feet, professing his innocence, but one who would save his brother above all else. He has many names: Kinslayer, Executioner, Death.
Alright. So, if this is supposed to be,
To bargain for war's freedom, Death swore that he would resurrect humanity.
So, there's the Raven. There's so much Norse mythology in this game.
But he knew not how this might be done. And so Death rode forth into the icy veil to find the Keeper.
Oh yeah, and the Raven is your familiar. He does fucking awesome stuff, and you can level him up and things, right? So, so you're running around as a psychopomp. You know, like, so this game, you're kind of like Odin on the hunt in many respects, but you're in the body of Thor, right? Like, you know, he would basically be Vidar. I would say that this is Vidar.
Of secrets.
So War would be Thor. Thor and Vidar. Then there's Sister, who is Wrath. And I mean, there's great horseplay in this game. Look at this fucking horse. Look at this goddamn fucking gorgeous horse. I fucking love this goddamn fucking franchise. So, this would be Niflheim. They call it the Vale. Oh, look at that fucking gorgeous soundtrack. This game don't fuck around. This game wants you to be happy. This game asks you to be happy because it's going to deliver the immersion into the fucking world, into the mythos. It's fucking great.
Imagine being able to build an app with your
Right.
name on it.
Hang on, I'm trying to get past all this shit now that not everything's been discussed. I want to see if there's either a good cutscene to talk about or like a transition from realm to realm. So I haven't fucking played this in a while. There's a boss fight. So there's your Ice Jotun. Like I said, it's like Zelda.
How I curse you.
Yeah, this guy.
Of secrets.
I can't remember. I think he might be a recurring character. There we go. We're gonna... Okay, let's see. This should be a pretty cool scene. He's a little bit like Agra in,
Voices always
Keeper of secrets, I need your help.
I helped you once before, horseman. Look at me now. How I cursed that day. How I curse you.
Careful, Crowfather. I'm not here to put you out of your misery. Not yet.
I know why you've come. Your brother, the one called War. He's been imprisoned by the Charred Council and awaits their judgment. For dooming the Earth. For mankind's extinction. Why should I care about your brother's fate?
Because you know the truth. Your secrets can save him.
The Council will condemn War. Strip him of power, let him rot in oblivion. To hide the truth. My secrets cannot prove his innocence, horseman.
No, but they can help me to erase the crime.
The voice actor was perfect. I thought, it's just like, they could have made him a silent dude, right? But they found just the right tone of dark, raspy voice. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You really fucking feel like, yeah, I fucking love this character. I'm in control of what this dude is doing, and this dude sounds and looks amazing, right? A-list game. A-list fucking game, this game. And all the, you know, and little scenes like this, like most of these scenes are really good. The drama's all there. It's all cut well. You're invested. And so the Nephilim are being conspired against, and they don't know that the Charred Council is the one conspiring against them. And I forget if it's been revealed enough, because each game reveals more of the motives of the Charred Council. It's the most exciting point. You can hear everything, Violence, or do I have to read everything? Because nobody's answering that question for me. So, let's
Bring
just keep going.
mankind back from extinction. Madness.
If it's madness, who better to show me the way?
Should
So you see that, like, he is death, but because death is imbalance, he's technically an angel of life. Because he wants to bring mankind back from extinction. He wants to reverse psychopop. He wants to which, you know, that works as Vidar, right? He's Vidar.
You will find it here.
The Tree of Life.
Tree of Life.
Let me pass.
Not yet. That which you gave me,
Nico!
you will take it back.
In exchange for its secrets, you agreed to keep the amulet.
No. The voices, they curse and threaten without end. They cry to return. You must destroy it!
I cannot.
You annihilated their flesh. Why do you guard their souls?
Open the portal.
You will not pass while I live.
So be it.
Here your brethren are trapped in eternal torment. Do you wish to join them? And what of War? Would you kill your brother to save your precious balance?
He is innocent.
Are you so certain?
So, you see, that's an Archon, right? Now, he's not necessarily evil, but he's like, fuck you, no. Yeah, this is Darksiders 2. I am using it as a medium for talking about Norse mythology, because it's Norse mythology, but it's kind of but it's like it's Christian. It's Book of Revelations, It's Book of Revelations mixed with Ragnarok, and it's fucking rad. So that's war in like a cut scene. So it shows you who, you know, him. You played him in the first game. And this is just kind of like a husk of him. So like I showed you before, they demonstrate that there's a world tree, and you gotta, there's also corrupted roots and branches on the world tree. In this game, you're not as heavy duty dealing with the war between angels and demons the way that you are in the first game. In this one, you have a little bit of that, but you're actually fighting corruption. And it's this corruption on the world tree. And that's a big part of it. So, let me see here with this guy's... he didn't label his walkthroughs, did he? Oh, that's... well, no, he did. I gotta expand this. Wait, or can I pop this out? I can't pop that out. Hang on, I gotta expand this. Alright, the Tri-Stone Fire of the... Okay, the Forge Lands, Alright, yeah, let's just do the next one so you can see the transition. Alright, let's go.
Open up the portal. Your secrets die with you, old fool.
My secrets, but not yours. The uncountable worlds of our universe swirl in an endless abyss. Many worlds ravaged by time or conflict are swallowed by the abyss, returned to the nothingness from which they were formed.
The entropy principle.
But others linger for eternity on the brink of annihilation, that creation might be balanced with destruction. And in the final moment of battle, death was banished to one such world in the autumn of its life, yet not far from the edge of darkness. Had death been sent to his doom, that answer would be found in the horseman's future and in his past.
Be still, horseman. You are
Norse
wounded.
dwarves.
Don't touch me.
Your arrival here is a bad omen. Yes. It troubles me greatly.
Old one, there's more trouble ahead if you don't start making sense. Where is the Tree of Life?
Life. This world is dying, lad. Choking on chaos and corruption. We can do little to stop it. Soon, the great tree too shall perish, and with it, the last of my people.
And the corruption in Norse mythology is understood as the Nidhogger, and there's other spirits in Helheim that do this kind of thing. Yeah, Tim, we're 2 hours in. I'm enjoying myself on a Friday night. But I am going to wrap it up soon because I do have to get to the bank before noon tomorrow because my card is suspended and I have to wait for the new one to come to the mail next week, and I need cash, and I couldn't get it today because it's Juneteenth, and somebody thought it was funny that this was a bank holiday for no other reason than woke shit. But anyway,
Is that not what brought you here, Pale Rider?
I seek the tree. Your chaos and corruption don't concern me.
Seems they do concern me.
so that's just giving an example, right? So, like, you fight all these monsters, like, they're not supposed to be bad guys, but they're being corrupted by stuff, right? So that's all the spirits that you're naturally operating under. And just like in the movie Kingdom, the dark spirits go out and they attack the heart. Nick Oracle, I did a breakdown of Kingdom before I started talking about Darksiders as a different way of talking about how Norse mythology and cosmology informs how I learn things in these different mediums, which is why we're covering Darksiders 2 right now, because of all the overt Norse mythology involved, right? So the Nidhogger is that corruption. Corruption of memory is the basic thing that Nidhogger is, but it just means corruption. It really is just about the corrupting force underlying in the world. As well as the consumer of
But
dead
this
souls.
corruption can't be beaten with a blade. Seek out the Forged Sister. Ask her about the fire of the mountain. Help her, and she will help you reach the tree. As for me, I must return to my work.
And who are you to command a rider?
I am a maker, older than even the Charred Council. These hands have laid the foundations for many worlds, but that was long ago. And now, they but hardly know the touch of stone.
Are you not curious as to why I seek the tree?
So he holds
I would
all
not
of the
presume
pagan
to question
magic,
one of the four.
right? He's an elder dwarf. You know, he's a Gandalf, is what he is. I'm covering the I Ching right now as it pertains to the amino acid sequence of the DNA. It's super interesting to compare to the archons of Norse mythology. Oh, that's interesting. Are there 64 of them? That's definitely Idris Elba. Who, this guy? That's definitely not Idris Elba. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yes, tell me.
I must restore humanity.
Or are you saying that Death was played by Idris Elba? Because you know what, I don't remember the voice actor. I'm confused.
In war.
Heaven and hell battle upon the shattered earth. All creation trembles, and at the center of it all stands your brother.
He is innocent.
I never said he wasn't.
I don't know, man,
tree-
like, Idris typically has a slightly thicker British accent, and I don't even remember if Idris Elba was even well known yet. Okay, hold on a second. Darksiders 2 voice cast. Hang on. Come on. Voice button, Michael Wincott. While the role of War was Liam O'Brien, which doesn't really matter for this game.
Holds power over life and death. If you would resurrect humanity, then you
Really?
are headed in the right
You meant for
direction. Be warned. A dark presence dwells now within the tree, and the path is barred by corruption. I can tell you no more, horseman. Speak with Alia.
I believe it's James Cosmo, if I said his name right. So yeah, so he's got all these friendly dudes. He doesn't just have to fucking kill a bunch of people. He's questing. He's questing without acting chumpy about it.
If I were him, I'd bundle my...
So, like, this place is kind of like, you come to this fucking part of the realm after you've cleared it in the missions. And it's kind of like a safe zone in between getting the other missions done.
I seek my aid.
Corruption has taken our forest, and Gorwood is a being of that old...
And you come back to do things like
One
upgrade
goes,
weapons with him.
So goes the other. Gorwood is filthy with corruption. He must be put down.
And I know the name Echidna. Why do you seek her death?
An old debt, forged before your time.
All know the Shadow Realm of Echidna. Why do you not travel there and kill her?
I have tried, only to find her realm in chaos. The Spider Lords had bathed her throne in blood, and Echidna was nowhere in sight.
So, with Echidna, you're operating, you have, kind of like, I think Echidna's a bad guy. We're talking about, like, evil, it's like an evil Norn kind of thing. Like a Loki's net kind of thing. And then there's a really cool fucking spider temple that you have to deal with. You gotta fight a fucking bazillion spiders and shit, and then you gotta fight her, and it's cool. It's a fucking cool scene.
I spent years following her trail to the realm of the dead. Then, all this happened. I returned home to my people, left old debts unpaid.
Tell me about Oliver.
Ah, a madman, a beast.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here, meet one. We have to meet one of the women because you know they got women. They're not really dwarves, you see, but they're going for dwarves. So I don't think she's got a beard.
We've been awaiting your arrival, horseman. Your shadow has long hovered over this realm.
Many know the Reaper, Old One, but I don't know you.
We are the builders of this world, but corruption seethes at its heart and destroys in days what we shaped over eons. Adar does his best to soothe our pain, but our souls yearn for only one comfort, death. We are without hope. Horseman, do you ever doubt your future?
No.
So one like yourself would set out to change a fate that displeases him. That is a long and dangerous path, even for death himself.
How is that your concern, Shaman?
Only that I am skilled at crafting talismans. If you gather the proper materials and return them to me, I'll make a potent talisman.
So, like, she's like a battle witch, right? She's got a little bit of armor on or whatever, but, like, she makes, like, potions and magic items and shit like that. She's thick, and she's got the blind justice bit going on. She's got the two of swords going on as well. Right? So, that's giving you little ideas. I want to take... Give me a moment. Alright, so, Maker's Key. The Wandering Stone complete. Entering the Lost Temple, I think. Construct... No, okay. To move a mountain. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is all in the same spot, right? Hold on a second. Let me see what this one is.
You guys hungry? What should we order?
Pizza, tacos,
I'll size it up in a minute.
and chicken.
Phone ring.
Alright, does he transition to a realm in this scene? Where are we at? He might have?
That's all right. I can do this all day.
No. No, not yet. He's still in there. Oops. I just want to go to the next realm transition, and I think we're in a good spot. Here's what? Fire... let's see. Fire of the Mountain, Tear of the Mountain, like a Nos. Yeah, the Tree of Death. Let me see. This is a good scene to show you. If this is the first time you get to learn about the Tree of Death.
Bathing will trouble you no longer.
Then an age of blood and claw has ended.
Oh, did he just transit? Oh, okay, he's... Alright, he's fast mapping now. The fjord. It's you know, it's just, it's like, it's very strange the way they just... That it's all, like, in there, but it almost seems I don't know. It's just like... There's something just strange about the way they put it together. Or the way they told you that they did it effectively. But I think this is in a different... No, it's not. I want to see if he goes, because it's supposed to be about the Tree of Death. So where's the Tree of Death shit? It's been a long time since I played this game. What's over here? Oh God! Why couldn't I play the horse in the third game? Why'd they rob me of the horse?
And so you have come, bearing your sin like a badge of honor. What do you seek, Pale Rider?
The return of mankind.
To a barren planet shorn of life. Oh, humans are weak and simple. They would not survive this resurrection, nor do they deserve it.
That is not ours to judge. I do this to spare war from the Council's punishment.
And what of the Nephilim? Would you save but one, not the rest?
The Nephilim are a threat to the balance.
If we had taken Eden, none of this would have happened. Yet you rode against us, slaughtered our flesh, then bound our souls in your amulet.
Now, remember, Eden is Idun of the golden apples of eternal life.
Who are you?
I think you know. Once, you called me brother.
Absalom.
I have forsaken that name. Now, I am corruption. The day you raised your scythe against us, I was born.
Yeah,
and soon
I think this is right.
Will be old.
I think he...
The tree of life has fallen to my darkness.
Does something and...
From withered root
Then you go to the tree of death after he, like, killed
and even death himself will not escape it.
Scary game. Come on.
What defines a soul? Some call it the spark within that fights the darkness, that burns for life itself. But what of death, who became the reaper the day he slaughtered the Nephilim? He killed his brothers, his comrades, and Absalom.
Death! Why do you slay your own?
The Nephilim have no claim to Eden.
There are realms for angels and demons. Why not for us?
Eden belongs to man.
It belongs to those who take it!
The eons have not answered the question. Was it worth it?
Brother.
That one moment begot corruption and crowned him Kinslayer. The bitter victory could not be undone.
Ah, the Pale Rider. Isn't it odd that so many have...
He, before this scene, had got the chance to, you know, deal with corruption. When he approached the tree over here. Let's go back and make that clear, because I didn't really quite play that, and then we'll skip back to where I was. So yeah, so that's the corruption coming out of the Tree of Life, dragging him into the Clip-Off. Now he goes into the Clip-Off through the darkness, through the corruption.
So you have come, bearing your sin like a badge of honor.
And yeah, he didn't have to fight him, but all of this did have to happen. And then he pops out on this side, and now he's in hell. He's in Helheim.
Ah, the Pale Rider. Isn't it odd that so many have come here by your hand? And yet you so rarely visit the Dead Kingdom.
I had no plan to visit this wretched place. I sought the Tree of Life, I found it. Now I'm here.
The tree is no destination, my friend. Only a portal to other worlds. If the tree is what you seek, then you have arrived.
And I have been betrayed.
Not so hasty. The tree is wise beyond imagining. If it brought you here, then here is where you belong. Perhaps I can help.
I doubt it.
You would be wise to heed me. I have a merchant's skill to grant your deepest desire.
Very Capricornian, very Saturnian here, you know, choosing to go with the goat. You also get some, you also interact with him for business. I forget exactly what, but he's got some really good stuff that you have to do. His character design is fucking great. And so he's an important kind of like passage, you know, like, you know, there's the passage into the occult, right? I mean, he's already in the occult. I mean, he's of the occult. He's a fucking Nephilim, right? But this fucking Nephilim is on the Nephilim Death Squad because he's a good Nephilim in this game, right? But anyway, so he's getting his occult chops from the goat.
Tell me, Ryder, what do you seek?
I would redeem my brother, restore the balance.
Yes, I have heard the tale. Your brother rode though no call was given, and mankind paid the price.
Guard your tongue, merchant.
I give no judgment, friend. Only pass on that which I have been told. You were right to seek the tree, but it is only the gateway. What you seek is the Well of Souls.
The Well of Souls can restore humanity.
And more. The well
and of course, the Well of Souls is in the Box Saga. It's very much implied in certain things in Norse mythology.
Into this kingdom from every world, above and below. It is also how souls are brought back into creation when they are ready to be reborn.
You still haven't said what you are.
The history of my people was burned to ash along with our world. Forgotten even by those who destroyed them.
Which, you know, if this is post-Ragnarok, that would have been Muspelheim overpowering Vanaheim. That's what that means, as this goat character, right? He's a figure of the old gods. Of the earthen old gods, the earth gods.
Now, only the smoke remains. We were not the first, nor will we be the last. It is the way of things.
The way of things is balance.
And what balances life? Nothingness. Or corruption. Eventually, it consumes
No, you see, I'm, you know, the guy who made this must have been a Gen Xer like me, because this is Pluto in Libra. This is why I like this game so much. This is the best game of the three, in my opinion. He's such a fucking Pluto and Libra character. I was just like, this fucking dude, this fucking game.
So it would seem. None of this explains what you're doing here.
I am merely a humble merchant with a taste for the finer things. In life and in death. I am Ostagoth, and it would amuse me to offer you my wares.
Tree of life, tree of death, portals to other worlds. I know none of this. How is it I have remained so blind, or does your tongue...
So he's Ostagoth. All of you guys know about the Goth bit. I am going to look up Osta and see where that comes from while we're doing this.
Spit lies. Much was kept from the Nephilim and from the Four.
Why?
Because power must be tempered with ignorance. If the Nephilim knew the true nature of the tree, all would have perished.
I forsook the Nephilim, became a warrior for the balance, even killed my own people. I protect these worlds, you and the tree, yet still I remain in the dark.
Forsaken, yes. Forgotten? No, the Nephilim live on in you. But what do I know? I am but a simple merchant.
What if I wish to return to the Forge Land?
The Tree of Life has many portals, Rider. Some may help you retrace your path. Many portals are closed, but the ones to the Forge Lands remains open.
So...
Pretend that I believe you.
I think we're working with just the word Oss, O-S-S, which does go to Ost. So let me give us Ost. Meaning for him to be Ostagoth, he's using a pretty primordial name. See, I'm in the P section. Hold on. U. I think it's on this page. Page is stuck together? No? No, it's O-Z-D. Ost. There it is. Ost or os. It means bone. Interesting. In the Greek, osteon, osteopath. In OED. I think that's like original something. I don't remember. Lists 57 words beginning osteo as osteomyelitis and details 21 as osteoblasts, osteomalacia, okay, all right. In ancient Athens, okay, so used in ancient Athens for voting, hence ostracize, ostracite. Oh, that's very interesting. I want to know this too, because I've often thought about where Ost comes from. Austrasius, Greek, Osphus, hip bone, Latin, os, ossus, and bone again. Receptacle for bones of the dead, hence with grave humor a boneyard cemetery via offer oyster. Oyster as well, huh? There's nothing in Christianity or Buddhism that quite matches the sympathetic unselfishness of an oyster. Saki Chronicles of Clovis, 1911. This unselfishness is illustrated in the March of the Oyster after the Walrus and the Carpenter in Carols Through the Looking Glass. Right. Shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings. Thus the walrus devoured the eager... Oh, it's probably going to quote it in here. Okay. Thus the walrus devoured the eager and succulent bivalves. Cabbages and Kings is the title of O. Henry's first book. The 4 lines are also used by Ellery Queen to force the murderer's confession in The Adventures of the Mad Tea Party. Okay. Alright, so he is the bones of the Goth piece. So he's like the last of the Goths. He represents the last of the goats. The last of the goats. Yeah. Yeah. There's some ancient manuscripts associated with the true goat of occult enlightenment. And there's a whole very old segment in Temple of the White Dragon teachings on Black Earth Productions with the goat and this particular goat and him being talked about. Can't think of his name right now. But a picture of him is on the thumbnail. I don't think it's the only one that has a goat man on it, so just make sure you've checked. Okay.
Where should my search begin?
You must scale the Serpent's Peak and summon the Eternal Throne. There the Lord of Bones slumbers. He will guide you to the well, or he will have your soul. Before you go, horseman, consider this. My people may be lost, but their relics yet remain. You may come across them in your travels. They are worthless to most, but valuable to me. Return them, and I will trade relic for coin.
Yeah, so you're bringing, so in this land particularly, it's the ghosts of the Goth people. Their bones. So like this is all like there's mostly skeletal warriors in this realm. And you're bringing these souls back to him because he is preserving the ancestral memory. So he's kind of like a totem of the Goths. Okay, so I think that's gonna do it for Darksiders and for the show tonight as a whole. I think this has been good. I think I need to there we go. I think I need to go and take care of some things and get some sleep. I will catch you guys later.